Good afternoon, hello, my name is Daniel, this is the TriathlonDan YouTube channel. Before we get into today's video, you need to be cautious of people like me putting videos up on the internet about things that they're riding or using that they've acquired through partnerships or sponsorships or through whatever, and trying to sell them to you. Be really aware of how people are pitching things to you. All too often you see people post, oh, this is my unbiased review of this product that I'm paid to ride. Doesn't quite go in line with that. Now that said, Veta kindly kitted me out with a set of wheels for my bike. Now I haven't made a video about the wheels since I said, oh, here they are, I'm going to ride them, and quite a few people have asked me, you know, what are the wheels like, especially on my club ride, what are they riding like, what do they feel like, and I want to do that style of video on here, but you do need to be aware that Jono from Veta has given these to me. Now I do also have a discount code for the brand, so this is going against everything I'm saying. It's TriathlonDan, by the way, it's 15% off, but I'm not on commission for selling wheels, so I'm not motivated to sell any to you. So what I'm trying to do in this video is tell you how I found them, what I think to them, what I think is important in a set of wheels, and that's about it. So if you think I'm not doing that, please do feel free to let me know, but hopefully that's come across in the right way. So I've been using these wheels for around 2.5–3 months now. I've used them on my club chain gang, so a fast-paced group ride. I've used them on hilly rides out in the Peak District. I've used them in a triathlon as well. So I feel like I've got a good overview and an understanding now of how they ride, how they feel, and of course how they look. Now, one of the most important factors to me when I was looking for a wheel set was, can I run wide tyres on this wheel? Are they going to sustain my current 100 kilos of body weight? And are they going to basically not cause me any hassle? They're not going to be pinging spokes left, right and centre, and of course, do they look good? So when I spoke to Jono at Veta, you know, he showed me his prototypes, taught me through his strategy for the brand. What was also really important to me as well was using hooked wheels. I am absolutely like nervous as hell about using hookless on the road. I have some hookless wheels on my gravel bike at the minute, and I do not dare put road tyres on them. I know people will use them and get on with them, but these are hooked. So Veta actually built me some custom at the time, but they are now rolling them out as retail, so call them the TriathlonDan edition if you'd like. They're the Passare wheels. Now it's a bit of a blend, mine is, of what different spec with spokes and hubs and so on, but 44mm deep, 24mm inner rim width, which is wide but not super massive wide, and then a 31mm external rim width, which again is wide but not stupidly wide. I wanted to run 32mm tyres on my road bike because the Canyon Ultimate takes 32s, but I didn't want them to look ridiculous on narrow wheels, so these actually fit really well. There's like a really smooth line between the tyre and the rim, and it doesn't look like the tyre's bulging out massively. Maybe it's just aesthetic, but I think that the wheels and tyres do roll better when the things are more aligned in terms of their sizes. One of Veta's key aims was to get wheels that were quite light or very competitive in terms of weight, and that they are. Obviously it depends on the depth and the spokes and the hub and all of that, but if you look on their site, there's lots of build options and the weights are all listed on there as well, and versus other wheels, these are very light. Now for a rider like me, I'm 100 kilos, right, so I don't need to be saving 50 grams, but the wheels I was using on this bike were 1.9 kilos, so to go from 1.9 to like 1.35 is a measurable difference, like over half a kilo. That is well worth saving, but also knowing that they're reliable enough to take me riding them day in, day out. I feel like if you spend like 80% of the money and get 80% of the gains, that the money that'd be required to get another, I don't know, 50 or 100 grams lighter, you know, the wheel sets are thousands and thousands more, aren't they? When I'm talking about this sort of thing, it's really hard to not say things like, oh, the bike gets, you know, builds speed or accelerates well and holds its speed and all those rubbish marketing buzzwords. But genuinely, having ridden heavier box section wheels and going to these, it does feel more agile, and it does feel like when you're up to speed, like you are maintaining that speed easier. Now I'm probably going from extremes here, having like shallow aluminium wheels to, you know, mid-section carbon wheels, but that feeling is real. Also, I don't want to overlook the fact that if you like the way that something looks, you're going to feel good about it. Your morale will be higher, and I genuinely believe when your morale is high and you're feeling good, you perform better. So when I look at this bike and I think, yep, I really like the way that looks, I think that has some sort of effect. Whether it's real or not, I don't know, but I like them. Now, I did really like the fact that these wheels are gloss carbon and not a matte carbon. All I'm seeing at the minute is lots and lots of matte wheels, and I actually think the gloss looks really good. Now, the only drawback to this is I have found that the gloss wheels are easier to mark than matte wheels are. Or they might not be easier to mark, but it's definitely easier to see. Now, I have had a couple of marks that I've been able to like polish out and it looks as good as new. Of course, if you get deeper scratches, you won't be able to, but something worth bearing in mind for gloss wheels. And also, when I've been like handling the bike in the house and stuff, it's easy to leave like hand marks, it's just my greasy hands, you know, hand marks on them and so on, and you're forever like wiping them. But I think that's just part and parcel of having a gloss wheel, as similar to a gloss frame. You're going to be wiping it and cleaning it a bit more. But I've ridden this bike in, as I say, in some lanes in the Peak District, gravelly, rain, wind, mud. In fact, what I've ridden down to record today isn't the best, and they've held up pretty well. So there's only the odd little scuff on it, and I think that's just bound to happen, isn't it? Now, because Veta are reasonably new and they're just working out their entire product line, they're at a stage where you can have like custom builds. So if you want, I don't know, a super lightweight wheel, but you want external nipples like I've got, then they're able to do those sorts of things. Now, that sort of thing, I'm not a wheel builder, but I know that external nipples are easier to work on than internal nipples. So my plan is, if I take this bike away anywhere or I go on a trip and something breaks, the chances of a normal bike shop being able to resolve it for me are a little bit higher. I know there's a small aero penalty to having external nipples versus having internal, but for me, an average bike rider who wants to just perform okay, I'm not going to split hairs and really want internal nipples. Maybe I would on a pure race set of wheels because you're looking at it for every game, but for this setup, I'm not so fussed. I really like that the logos are like laser etched on. Veta are going to tell me off because that is not the correct term, but you get what I mean. It's not a sticker. It doesn't peel up. When you've washed it a few times, there's no like, peeling up with the corners and so on, and they're getting all the cat hairs in it and whatever else. I really like that. I think if if you're not a massive fan of the brand, or you didn't want some branded wheels, having 3 logos on a wheel might be disappointing to you. I'm not too bothered. Obviously, I want to try and represent my local brand to me, and 3 logos on there is absolutely fine. Again, maybe that's something that they'd reduce if you ask them to, but I think it looks pretty cool, and because they're like etched on, they don't stand out too much. I have seen that they've got some development ones with a little blue V, which does land straight on my street with the colour of my bikes, but yeah, there's something worth thinking about. In terms of reliability, well, these have been fine for me. I know that I should probably put 10,000 miles on them before talking about them, but having only ridden probably 1,000 miles on them, nothing has happened, so I've got nothing to say. No loose spokes, nothing like that. I do really like as well the nice touch that Veta have developed some high volume valves, so they don't get blocked up with tubeless sealant. So they've got a little rubber cover and the high volume valves just in the middle. I won't put too much out of that because I'm going to need to get home, but you get the idea. It pumps up really fast, and of course you can seat your tubeless tyres really easily. You can get the hubs in silver or black, so depending on what sort of colour scheme you're going for your bike and what sort of spec hub you want, you can get different colours for hubs. And yeah, I just think all in all, a real solid wheel set that have served me well, look good most importantly, and feel good to ride. So if there's anything else you want to know, let me know in the comment section down below and I'll reply in writing. I don't really know what else to say without trying to make this come across as a sales pitch. Obviously, I'm grateful for Veta for giving me these wheels, and hopefully they sell lots more so that they don't ask me to return these to them or whatever else. But I know they do a 2-year warranty, and they do a crash replacement scheme as well, which is hopefully something I will not be having to utilise. But things like that, and knowing that they've actually got a base in England, in Derbyshire, where if I have a problem I can go back down to, but also if anybody else has any problems, you've not got to be going to a call centre and wherever and trying to email somebody a million miles away. Like you've got a contact and a place and an address in England where you can take them to or speak to. Right, anyway, I need to get lots more miles in on these and in my legs, so I'm going to crack on with today's ride. Thank you very much for watching. Hope you've enjoyed that, and I will see you tomorrow at 1 o'clock.